Hello guys, it's Peter from Pssound, and this is going to be the demo video of this Opel Insignia that you could see before. Definitely the finest sounding, best sound quality systems I've ever built with the help of Balint, who did a fair amount last year on it, as well as now Eddie helped with the front sub box. I'll just quickly run through the system if you haven't seen this, but also in the description you can see the whole playlist. There are like more than 10 videos showing the whole build, how the whole system was built. Sorry for the darkness guys, it's late night, the owner is taking the car away tomorrow very early morning, and this is my only chance to have any footage of it for this demo. So yeah, it's a bit misty down on the beach, normally where we come down with clients and for photo shoots. So unfortunately, yeah, you have to be happy with this lighting scene. There's not much you can see, but I'm gonna share pictures of this build at the end of the video so you can see what's in it if you haven't seen this car yet. So quickly, we have a three-way front end with front sub and rear sub running fully active. We have Ecuton C30 automotive line tweeters with the Ecuton C100 mids on the dash, with the Ecuton 165 AM mid base in enclosures, using the floor space and the kick area located as far out as possible in the kicks, minimizing the puff length difference. Same way that's true for the mids as well. And then now we have a front sub as well, which is the Ecuton AS250. It's a prototype which is going to be the automotive subwoofer. It's not quite the full version, but it's pretty much that. Cosmetics and maybe a few little things will change, but we managed to get one of them, and actually we were the first ones getting the first production line automotive speaker set in this car last year when we were building this car for the Eurofinals, but unfortunately it didn't happen. We also have a Clarus 15 from Hybrid Audio at the back in a enormous huge sealed enclosure. The whole system is running now off a Zapco HDSP5 DSP, which has HD player, coax, optical input, all sorts of fancy gadgets. I will show a bit of that operation as well. We have Zapco amplifiers, a Z150.6 running the tweeters, the mids and the front sub bridged, and the other amplifiers running the mid bass bridged each side and the rear fill. Yes, we also have differential rear fill, not generic rear fill, it's differential rear fill, and I'm going to show it with music what it's like so you can get an idea about it. The speakers are, by the way, Hybrid Audio L2 SE's 2-inch wideband speakers. And then yes, we have one more amplifier, the Zapco Z400.2 AP. All of the amps are AP range, the audiophile range, and that's bridged for the rear sub, so we have plenty of power, and all running off a 140 amp hour lithium battery at the back of the trunk, so we have plenty of best quality power for the system. So we have HD player from the USB plugged into the DSP, and we also have a FiO M11 Pro running on wired coax. So that's the setup. I'm gonna demonstrate a few songs from my demo 3 playlist. I shared the demo 1 playlist before. This is the client's player, so he's got the demo 3 on it. I didn't find the demo 2, that's why we will now go through the demo 3. I will link in the demo 2 playlist as well into the description, so you will have a tidal link to it. You can check out the whole playlist. I will share the demo 2 with a video description at some point later. Sorry, it's not in a chronological order. We will deal with demo 2, and you can still listen to that playlist if you check it from the description. So 4.5 minutes into talking, many people are already bored of my voice. So let's see. Mambo Jumbo. This is the first song of this album, which is an African drum band with fantastic recording showing the dimensions of the stage, the width the depth of it, it's just crazy. There are instruments coming from all over the place. Let's see. It's just a pretty crazy tune. So check out this album and some other albums from her. She's brilliant.
Never don't leave nobody alone. Maybe by tomorrow we could lose the thought of owning. But today I feel it. I just won't be going home. Yeah, today I feel it. I just won't be going home. Got me walking on water. Got me good. Got me walking on water. You got me good.
The whole album of her is just mental, really good mastering. So this one, the Ozone Percussion Group. This track can surprise many people. Super dynamic recording with crazy kick drums in it. So be careful if you turn it up loud, because your sub may fly away. You may take it down actually a touch. Hopefully the mic won't distort. Went off. I had to turn it down because the microphone I'm using is very sensitive and the bass can easily overdrive it and it can easily distort, which happened before. Sorry for that, guys. If it happens, it's not the system distorting, nowhere close to it. But of course, if I play on a higher level and record it, then it's going to be more dynamic than on a low level, because then you can even hear my breathing, and we don't want that. So yeah, this is wicked. Oh, we know we don't have oh really? Oh, don't tell me we don't have the other songs. Okay, there we go. All the songs are great from this Avi Kaplan, beautiful male voice, really deep voice. This is a late night tune. When you want to relax, turn the lights off, put this one on. Beautiful details, beautiful voice, micro details in the song, fantastic.
Our bodies are hurting like hell. They promise to never leave us alone. Our hearts are breaking like bones. Picking stars like apples from the sky, threatening to throw them in the sea, so we won't have anything to gaze upon. What happened to liberty and the bridges we almost got done? What happened to that? Was going to take us home? Dreams are breaking like glass.
This song is something very special. It's one of those things that can really touch your soul. Like even now I'm getting emotional, especially because it's such a special moment to sit in this car, and unfortunately again I don't have any time to enjoy it. It's definitely the best sounding systems I've ever built. Way better than the Honda I have or any other car I've built. It's just ridiculous what we managed to finally pull together. This car has now close to 70 days work, 70 days work in it, not including the super long days. And it shows. Few people heard it today in the afternoon. They could pop in, listen to it. They could tell best what they've heard in this car, but the details, the clarity, the attack on the system is the craziest I've ever heard. It's just everything is so tight and instant, and there's no overhang on the notes. If something stops, it stops dead, like zero rattle, even at crazy levels. Everything was built bulletproof. The anchors and the kicks, full birch ply fiberglass, milkshaked with steel as well, and everything. That front sub we built with Eddie, that has steel in it. You will see it in a separate video when I show how it was built. And the whole car, everything was shown and shared with you guys. You can see what goes into a crazy build. And now with the hardware, it's on another level. Especially if you have the upgraded deck cards in the HDSP5. And Zapco is planning to bring out a third level deck card, which is gonna cost probably more than some people's standalone DSPs. If even the standard sounds fantastic, I have it in my car and most of the customers' cars, they sound great. This car though, and what comes out of this system is on another level. So so long decay on everything. This DSP just shows everything. Good old classic. Keith, don't go. Well, that was a time when I was so bored of it, because whenever I sat in the car and people were playing it, like one out of the songs people played, it was always this. Actually, I got to like it.
$10,000 guitars waiting, but it ain't quite the same. You got a knack for sailing, and it's stamped with your own brand name. We's all sailors, as captain you must know. You bring a message to millions. Say, Keith, don't go. I said, Keith, don't go. Oh, don't take my fun. Keith, don't go. Keith, don't go.
So let's see. Okay, I Will Survive. That's a must-have demo. If you want to show your system off, that thing is gonna do magic. I mean, it's just a cello player and a singer, but the dynamics in it and her voice is just out of the world. This cello can show any rattles, any vibrations in a car. So if your system is not rigid enough and the speakers, if especially the mid bass, is not installed well, it will show it. In this car is just crazy. She will walk in at around 1 minute from the right to the center of the stage. So realistic.
First I was afraid, I was petrified. Kept thinking I could never live without you by my side. But then I spent so many nights just thinking how you did me wrong, and I grew strong, and I learned how to get along. So now you're back from outer space. I just walk in to find a he with that sad look upon your face. I should have changed your stupid luck. I should have made you leave your key. If I would know for just 1 second, you'd be back to bother me. Go on now, go. Walk out the door. Just turn around now, 'cause you're not welcome anymore. Weren't you the one who tried to hurt me with goodbye? Did you think I'd crumble? Did you think I'd lay down and die? And I'll survive, I will survive. Always as long as I know how to love, I know I'll stay alive. I got all my life to live and I got all my love to give, and I'll survive, I will survive. Hey.
that's the beauty of a system that has literally zero rattle. I can truly call this setup zero rattle. It's very rare. But then all you hear is just a sound coming out of the speakers, and if it's tuned well, you don't hear the speakers either. The system disappears and everything is holographic, all up there. Mental. Beautiful. Many nice songs. One personal favorite. I thought that it was Danish, and Jonas said, no, this is not Danish, this is probably Swedish.
Kanskje var det spenning, kanskje var det trøst. Kan ha vært latter, kanskje bare lyst. Kan ha vært vinter, kan ha vært tomt. Kanskje energi, noe som var ondt.
With this one I can show the rear feel. So if I pull it back, it will come more alive, or well, it will show more on the recording. I have to pull the sub down.
Kan ha vært hennes, kan ha vært ditt. Kanskje var det vårt, ikke like fint. Følte du deg fri?
It should come through the recording, but if I take all the front end out, now I turn my head to the left, now to the right. When everything's set up correctly, you can't locate them. It just adds to the front end. It gives extra ambience and room information. Only the stereo content plays at the rear field, no mono content. And it creates a larger space in the car. I always tell to people that the problem in a car is that it's a very small cabin, very small space, and very well dampened. It's the closest experience to a sound recording booth. There's hardly any ambience in a cabin, especially when you have all the soft materials, Alcantara headlining and whatnot. There's hardly any echo. So even if you have a great system and you listen to something that was recorded in a large space with a lot of room information and reverbs, yes, you will hear it from there, but it's only coming from there. The problem is when you are in that space live, you can tell you are in a large space because you hear not just the band in front of you on the stage, but you also hear the reflections from the side walls and from the back walls, and you can tell how big room you are in by the time the delayed sound gets to you. If you are in a large space, that reflected sound is going to get to you later. If you're in a short room, then it's going to get to you quicker. So when you play a recording back with a lot of room information, it's only coming from there. Nothing is coming from behind you, so it's less realistic. But with differential rear field, if it's set up well, it just adds just that bit of information behind you that creates that extra sense of space. You cannot identify the speakers with normal music, only on technical tracks. When you have competition disc where it says left, right, then you would hear it from the rear speakers as well, delayed. So you don't want it for competition. But for general music, like this or anything else, it's fantastic. And none of my clients in the last 1.5 years have told me that, hey, I don't want it, it's shit. There were a few people who said it's strange, I don't know what to do with it. But after like a few weeks, they were like, Pete, this is awesome, we want it. So let's take it back. So that's about differential rear feel. Now we cover that too.
So the sound of the birds taking off scared you last night.
The same artist we had earlier.
Though they were right to leave, right to use their wings to fly.
Like a rock. Fantastic details. Very clean double bass.
Green glow of the clock reads 4:30. You creep along on cat's paws as you cross the bedroom floor. I hear you breathe, I hear the closet door.
The image is frightening.
Catch wind of the fragrance.
I could have a screen there,
Never
and you would think that she's singing from there, honestly.
But I won't say a word. I won't say a word. I won't say a word. I'll just lie here like a rock. We play this game each time we come home late. You fumble in the dark.
Something a bit more funky. Let it whip. That's actually a Hungarian band. I used to work with them. That trumpet can bite. These guys make fantastic music. Black Mambo, great detail, great kick bass. 2 feet. Yeah, their bass lines are mega. Blast Stream was a big surprise in my car, in the Honda with the True IB. because it has low ends that not many system can play. This system is not going to play it. And this area, the rumble is just crazy, dropping way below 20 Hertz. Nah, it's not gonna happen. That's about a sort of electronic tune with crazy bass line, kind of the really painful upper bass that can make you choke if you go silly with your system. Somebody's not even playing. Oh. Okay, Smilk. I've heard it in the US, many people play it. It's a demonstration. Smilk creates quite crazy electronic music. This tune is called like the Transformer song. When you have a bass line like this, you turn it on, and if your system doesn't rattle, good man. Crazy tune. Son. Check out music from him, really well mastered, sort of rock music. Rock songs here. Rage. Really tight kick. and this section after this is electronic. Few crazy tunes, but really good sounding tunes. Submotion Orchestra produces really good quality, kind of laid back, relaxing electronic music. The touch of drum and bass. I have a feeling I won't go home. I will get these headphones out and listen to music again, because this system is just bloody silly. Just the beginning of this. Stereo in this at the beginning is, yeah. More drum and bass, more madness, then some good quality house music.
You said how to
Tunes, proper house tunes.
Memories keep me frozen, looking past in the moments. None of them seem to notice. Splinters in my heart, suffering all the silence, vulnerable to the violence, deafening voice of silence. Splinters in my heart.
And the fairies going out. Crazy. Fateless in different version. And then after that, towards the end of the playlist, I always have some crazy stuff but really good sounding tunes. Like that is a proper system tester. How loud you can go without having your system falling apart. There's quite a high level of distorted I don't know what it is, but quite distorted, but not in a way when you overdrive a system. And this can go really silly. Probably managed to overdrive the microphones as well. Yeah, there are many songs that normally I wouldn't listen to, but on a good system, no matter what I throw on it, it just sounds good. Like that one as well. I showed it in Chris's TT, I think, in one of the videos. I'm sure many of you will be like, what the crap is this? But trust me, on a good system, no matter what you play. Then hip hop, Eminem, that was a funny one. Good guy, customer of mine, sent this to me to check out if the third bass note sounded clean, because he said in his system it sounded quite distorted. So I played it, and then I realized that, oopsie, there's not just 3 notes but a 4th. What he didn't know about. There you go.
Housewife who outright lies, she's blackout drunk. Now she's backing out my drive. I ran outside. Why is she trying to act out? She's just about my size. Hit me in the mouth twice, guys. When someone you die for,
absolutely clean.
It's a steak knife in your heart. Do you try more? Another late night in. She stumbles through my door. Lets the daylight in, and all we do is fight more. And I ain't violent, but she's going through my drawers to plant the KY in.
It's playing here as well. I think it's 18 hertz, the 4th note, which comes a few times in the song. That's a big surprise. If you don't have a subsonic filter on your sub, and if you have a ported box, it will make your sub fly away, unless it's a very low tuned ported box. In sealed as well, make sure that you have plenty of excursion for this song. But if you have IB, then you will smile big time, and you will see things flying in your car. And then yeah, a few crazy hip-hop tunes at the end, which all sound great. So that's pretty much it of the demo 3 playlist. Yeah, check out in the description, check out the link, and play it in your cars. It's wicked. Don't ask me to list all these songs, it's way too many. I had no time to write it down. YouTube is going to make a list of all the songs anyway because of copyright. So hopefully the video will be watchable in many countries, because possibly in many countries it will be not allowed to be seen because of copyright. We will see. But on Facebook, when I share this video, I'm going to take screenshots of the titles. So go on Pssound on Facebook, find this post, and then you will be able to see all the songs from the playlist, as well as the link to the video. And in the video description you can find a link to this playlist and to demo 2 as well. So you will get 2 demo playlists. So that's a long video. Hopefully some of you are with me and you discover a few songs. If you do it well, then you pause the video when I talk about crap, you search for the song and play it at home. Then you discover something new, unless you already know these songs. And I hope some people will be able to listen to this Insignia in Denmark, or when the owner gets to Germany or Austria with it, because he competes in EMA as well. Hopefully we will have competitions in the future again, and they can experience what's happening here. I put a quick tune on it. I'm happy with it. The system shows the capabilities, but like transforming the system in 2 weeks was tight. We were working on it even today from like 7 o'clock in the morning till 7 in the evening, and we drove home, dinner, pack up, and he's leaving at 3:30 in the morning. So he's going to have a long drive, but at least now with a proper system. And if someone is still watching this and thinks about what we had before and why we changed it, and I said in the previous video in the description, or the introduction of this part of the changes, well, we could use many amplifiers, many DSPs, but it's very important to use something that you are confident with and you have consistency with. So far I haven't got a simple issue with any of the APMs from Zapco. They all sound great, they are dynamic, detailed, plenty of headroom. I can't really fault them for the money. I'm not saying there's no better, but I don't really see why you would need better amplifier unless you maxed out everything. You have the best speaker installation, the best speakers, the best source, the best tuning. Then maybe upgrade if you want above this line and if you can afford, because they are not cheap. But yes, some people always chase that holy grail of you know, finding the gold and go for the most expensive gear. And as the usual saying, you know, not every gold is, or not everything that shines is gold, right? Unfortunately we had that experience before, and yeah, as I say, we could have used many other things, but I've always had good experience with these amplifiers. And that DSP, I know many people have issues with it, not my clients, not me. I know how to use it, I know how to set it up. Even the HD player works brilliantly. You know, I can't fault it. The stick is in it at the back, and good old classic Dire Straits. The only issue with the HD player is that the screen is a bit too small, so you have to be accurate and you have to press it properly, otherwise it doesn't happen. if you have good mastering and good recording played through the HD player, it's gonna be really difficult to beat it. Honestly, anything that I played from this just sounds awesome. People say, you know, what's the difference between digital and digital? Is it really noticeable? Through the file, everything sounds great, but then there are a few recordings, especially when it's 96K native straight through the DSP, and then the lights went off in the car again. Let's go to here we go.
Said you really wanna love me, but you can't right now. Said you really wanna touch me, babe, can't do it right now. I can't hear you, no. I don't dare to get near you, babe. You take my outside and you turn me down, down, down. Standing in the wings, I'm all by myself. I've got shy about everything. I get it by myself. I can't hear you, no. I don't dare to get near you, baby. You take my upside and you turn it down, down, down. And I can't hear you. I don't dare to get near you, no, hey. You take my upside and you turn it down. I was thinking about love, I was thinking about happiness, but you take it all over just to put it back on her case. You might sell it up cheap, you might lose it in town. Said the whole boat might sink on you, and you just might go down with it. Oh, but you may not die. And I can't hear you. Stay away in the back.
That's not a big difference. That display shows around 0.4 less, 12.9, so we have 13.3 volts in the system, even after 53 minutes playing with the interior lights on. It doesn't even drop even when I crank it up. So much clean power, which is crucial for a good system. You can have the best amplifiers with the best power supply built into them. If you don't have fuel, you know, the car is not gonna run. For good cars, that's why you need good fuel, not cheap fuel. So here we are. HD player, file, all the fancy things. And now I break this video and I hang up because I'm gonna enjoy this myself a bit. Hopefully you liked some of the songs, guys. Feel free to share this playlist so more and more people can find good new music. In the comments you can link in your own playlist. Feel free, and others can also save it and listen to that. Also on Facebook, when I share it, feel free to share your playlist. I'll have to find new music at times too. That's the whole point. That's the whole point about car audio, you know. We want to listen to good quality music, right? So this is it for this one. It's a long video, I know. Yeah, this is pretty much it of this project. Hopefully I will see this car soon in the future, because I want to listen to music in this, and hopefully some of you will be lucky enough to sit in this as well. Definitely a car audio destination in Nirvana to sit in here and listen to this setup. Cool, this is it. See you in the next one, guys. Take care.
You take my upside and you turn it